everyone. Today we are going to do an introduction on St. John's Cathedral in Central. We are science students in a group of 5 members. In the following, aside from a brief introduction on the background, we will focus on the structural design with appreciation of its aesthetic.
To begin with, St. John's Cathedral is the oldest existing Western religious building in Hong Kong, located on Garden Road, Central. It is an Anglican cathedral in Hong Kong. Indeed, it was declared a monument in 1996. What makes it special is the cathedral is built in Victorian Gothic style, characterized by a tall tower and light, open, spacious interior. It is built in a cross shape as a symbol of Christ's death on the cross. In addition, there are several peripherals like a small garden, a fun bookshop, and labyrinth cathedral offices. The construction of the St. John Cathedral was completed in 1849. However, the tower was finished a year later because of the lack of funds. Besides, it underwent extension in 1873. In addition, the cathedral was greatly damaged during Japanese occupation and needed a great scale of reparation. Around the cathedral and the bell tower, there is a Celtic cross with a stone inscription for commemorating those who died in both world wars. Beside the memorial cross, there is a grave of R.D. Maxwell, who was killed before the East fire in the Sino-Japanese War. To gather the worshippers, a very high bell tower was built at the entrance of the cathedral. It contains a number of Gothic features, such as arched windows and doors, pointed photos, etc. It does not open to the public at most of the time. However, it may allow the access of the clerical occasionally. Apart from its appearance and structure, there are some decorations showing the colonial style. For instance, it is decorated with a large VR on the west face to commemorate the institution's founding during the reign of Queen Victoria. For the north and south faces of the tower, there are the coats of arms of 2 former governors of Hong Kong.
Then let's talk about the architectural features of the cathedral. It can divide into 2 parts. One is decorative and the other one is structural. First of all, let's talk about the decorations. Looking around the cathedral, you will notice one of its doors is darker than the others, which is located at the entrance. It is because the front door of the cathedral was remade by the wood that salvaged from HMS Tama after the damage made in the Second World War. At the entrance, there is a mosaic on the floor which is combined by 5 figures. Start with the middle one. It is an Astoria cross which is a 13th century design found in China. The top one is hands of God, the Father creating. The bottom one is an eagle, a symbol representing St. John. The left one represents Jesus' death. Finally, the right one is about the dove and fire for the Holy Spirit. Also, there are some storyboards hanging on the beam columns. The storyboards are made by wood. They are illustrating the crucifixion of Jesus. Looking at the first pew, you can observe its difference from the other pews. You can clearly see a governor's emblem on its side. It is because the first pew was reserved for the governor or any other member of the royal family visiting Hong Kong before 1997. In the traditional society, the nearer a person sat to the front, that means the more importance of the person. So the decorative features can reflect social status aside from its beautifying function. In spite of the pews in the main hall, the channel is also divided into 2 parts. The front part consists of choir seats, altar, amble, and pulpit. In tradition, this is the most sacred part which only allows the access of the senior clergy. The back part is called small auditorium or women's small auditorium. There is a St. Michael's Chapel nearby the main hall. This chapel gives an extra space for people having a silent prayer. On the wall, there is a sculpture of Jesus' crucifixion. In the chapel, there is a bronze tablet with the names of the people who died in the World War I for commemoration. It is obvious that the tablet is not only a piece of decoration, but also a trace of human history. On the other side of the main hall, there is a quiet chapel. The quiet chapel is open for the silent prayer and meditation. Also, it is a room that has air conditioning in the cathedral during summer. After that, let's talk about the structural parts, including buttress, pointed edge, and the stained window. Buttress is one of the architecture features of Gothic-style church. In the figure, the column shaded in red is the buttress. On the outside of the building, buttresses are built against the walls so as to provide a great support to the whole building. Therefore, it plays a very important role in the structural design. Apart from the external buttress, there are some pointed edges inside the cathedral. The pointed edges can help to channel the weight onto the bearing piers or columns, so the buttress and pointed edges both serve as a kind of structural support. Also, the edge-shaped high ceiling makes the ceiling higher, so that the interior looks more spacious, and ventilation is much better. In the St. John Cathedral, you can observe the arch-shaped ceiling, arch windows, and doors. These are both for the structural use and as a decoration. Also, in the Gothic-style cathedral, the arch-shaped high ceiling has a whistle in height of upwards. For the stained glass window, it is one of the significant features of Gothic-style architecture. The translucent glass window does not only look spectacular, but also serve for an important purpose, allowing the light to enter the cathedral. The main east window is illustrating the crucifixion of Jesus, which shows God's love to us. At the foot of the cross are Maria and St. John standing beside Jesus. Above this window, there is a rose window which represents the rebirth. The south windows of the cathedral are about the life story of Jesus. From left to right, the windows are illustrating the birth of Jesus, his ascension, and baptism. Moreover, the north windows are about the story of Jesus claiming the storm. Indeed, the window also commemorates for the people who lost their lives at sea in the World War. To conclude, the stained windows show the beauty of a Gothic-style cathedral and display its historical value.
What makes the cathedral unusual is the absence of air conditioning in such an indoor environment. To avoid the erosion brought by water vapor, traditional fans are adopted for maintaining the ventilation instead of air conditioner. Plus the open, spacious interior, the cathedral is quite airy indeed. In addition, the irregular vaulted ceilings utilize the technology of the pointed arch to spread force and weight. In the following, we are going to compare St. John Cathedral with a contemporary church in Taiwan, the Light of Christ Salvation Church, which is built in 2009. First, the St. John Cathedral is in a cross-style ground plan. It was a symbol for Christ's ascension to heaven. For the Light of Christ Salvation Church, the appearance of this church just like a boat, representing Noah's Ark. Second, for the St. John Cathedral, the small spindly towers, buttresses, archways, and other installations that soar high in the sky, illustrating a wish to be closer to the Lord and heaven. While the first floor to the fourth floor of the Light of Christ Salvation Church are in concrete state, resembling the feeling of being in a mountain. Third, the large stained glass windows in St. John Cathedral allow sunlight to illuminate of the interior, which created a solemnous atmosphere. On the contrary, light coming from the gap between the wood illuminates the Light of Christ Salvation Church, so that people can embrace the natural light directly. Therefore, both of them have adopted a structural design with apparent religious meaning with different expression. To conclude, The historical church and the contemporary church both demonstrate Christianity, but in a different way. The former one emphasized the solemn and secret mood, while the latter one emphasized the nature. In fact, regardless of the construction method of the church, the most important thing is that the church can express the deity leading people to the road of